Hello everyone, welcome to this great chance to learn about film editing. We are going to start with this first module in which we are going to see in detail the fundamental narrative tools that you must know to start editing. Additionally, this is a course in which we are going to learn how to use Adobe Premiere. So it's necessary to address those main tools that, from my point of view, are the ones necessary to tackle any editing project, any film project. Film editing and video editing is not a mere technical issue. So as we learn to use Adobe Premiere software, we will learn important things related to editing and filmmaking. So in this same module, we are going to learn about the process of assembling shots. I think that for fiction, it's fundamental. And during this first module, we are going to see several lessons related to this, where we will review the same concepts, but in different examples. I mean, professional examples that we will be editing in the Premiere software and other professional examples on the screen. All this knowledge is part of what I learned in my script writing master degree at the best film school in Spain, SCAC. So don't miss the chance to learn this. So let's start once and for all with this theoretical lesson. So the first thing you should know is that in editing process, there are three fundamental concepts or narrative tools that you should use when editing, when dealing with a film project, with a fiction project. Basically, film editing is one more stage of a screenwriting, because it happens that a script is written to be able to record all the shots that represent that script, or at least come close to that script. But in the editing process, we are going to join the shots to tell what is in the script. So in that process, problems and challenges will arise that were not possible to see during filming or during writing. Additionally, it's the last stage of writing, because the script is not the movie, but the editing is the movie. So pay attention to how important it is. So these three concepts are ellipsis, time, and color. Let's start then. The ellipsis is a narrative tool that allows you to summarize information in a story. I mean, omit moments in a chain of events to shorten the duration of the film. It allows you to skip certain moments that do not interfere with the understanding of the story. And this is going to happen for a very simple reason. The audience sees a scene and already understands what could have happened between the time jumps. I mean, what could have happened in that information that I'm not showing you, because it's understood. So let's see this example that is a very good one. In the movie 12 Years a Slave, there is a moment where Solomon asks for help from a man who is working as a carpenter. The actor is Brad Pitt indeed. Let's watch the scene and then I will tell you.
I originate from Canada. I guess where that is.
Oh, I know where Canada is. I've been there myself. Montreal and Kingston and Queenston and a great many places.
Well traveled for a slave. How came you here?
Master Bash. If justice had been done, I never would have been here.
How's this? Tell me all.
I'm afraid to tell you.
Every word you speak is a profound secret. Your story, it is amazing, and in no good way.
Do you believe, sir, in justice, as you said?
I do.
Slavery is an evil that should befall none.
As you could see, by that time the movie is almost over. I think there are minutes left to finish. I mean, there is not case in telling the Solomon's story again. So Solomon is supposed to tell his story to that man. That story that we already knew, that is everything that we saw in the movie until that moment. And that is why there is a direct narrative jump From the moment Salamus asks for help to the moment where Brad Pitt's character tells him, that is an amazing story, not in a good way. That jump is the ellipsis. We don't need to show Solomon telling the other character the story. But since we as audience know the story, we can imagine what he told the other character. So this narrative strategy allows you to reduce the length of the montage. In any case, we will see another practical example later on. The other important element is time. The length of a shot changes the meaning of a shot in itself. This is very important. We are going to see a very quick small example in one of my works. In this scene, which is actually a flashback, a memory, we notice that the character is staring at the family, the indigenous family. But especially the character stares at the family's daughter, the baby. And the scene lasts a long time. The change of glances lasts a long time. But it happens that this process of looking for seconds generates expectations in the audience. Because the character is not simply looking at something to recognize it, but rather that he is looking at the child for a long time for maybe two reasons. The first is that maybe the character is moved by what he is looking at. The family with his daughter seems really tender to him. But on the other hand, maybe he wants to have a family. Or maybe it's his daughter, I don't know. So many things you can imagine just from the fact that he is looking at something for a long time. Because the more time the audience passes, the more questions will be asked. The other element is the color. The color is also important in this same scene. You can notice that since they are flashbacks, in order that those scenes were taken as flashbacks, it's necessary to use a different color correction in those moments to give more information to the audience. They must be aware to the fact that those scenes are a different moment from the ones they were watching before. Here there is another example of a flashback. It's supposed that the character is remembering a past moment with that native with whom he has come across. And as you can see, the memory has another color correction, another color grading. Additionally, the color is also related to the motions and lighting. In the color correction, you are not supposed to select a color for a scene that could be detrimental to the motion of the scene. So as you could see, these are very important elements when it comes to telling stories by editing. It doesn't matter if it's a movie or a commercial, it doesn't matter if it's a YouTube video. All these tools are used to tell a story properly. Later on, we will see another important element related to the assembly of the shots, which is the ordering of the shots. But we will see that in another lesson. Until the next time.